Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It's Sunday, July 7th, 2024. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. I'm uploading an early video. It's my daughter's birthday today, so we're going to be doing some celebration with the family. Got some stuff on the agenda. I want to come out here and just put up a quick video, say hi. Right now, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time in California. For some of you, it might be just turning noon if you're on the East Coast or wherever you're at in the world. I appreciate you guys watching the video, subscribing to the channel. We're growing the channel. Please spread these videos as far and wide as you possibly can. Let's jump right in to some things I saw this morning I want to share with you. From Yahoo Finance, 1 in 4 Americans in their 50s will become silver squatters and need financial support from family in retirement. It says, unfortunately, the harsh reality for a significant number of Gen Xers, according to Prudential's 2024 Pulse of the American Retirement Survey. It says among about 1,000 Americans, all age 55 or over, who were surveyed for the study, nearly a quarter, 24%, report that they expect to need financial support from loved ones during their retirement years. It says while 21% say they will likely need housing assistance. This news may come as a shock to the relatives of these Gen Xers, especially since nearly half of the respondents admitted that they haven't yet broached the subject with their families. That is shocking. 55 and over. The survey notes that 55-year-olds today are critically, and we know this, critically unprepared for retirement and less financially secure than previous generations. This study found that 55-year-olds have a median retirement savings of less than $50,000, with 67% of those surveyed admitting that they fear they'll outlive their savings. Well, if they only have $50,000, they're definitely going to outlive their savings. It says Gen X has faced, of course, now we start piling on some excuses, has faced multiple roadblocks throughout their working life, including recessions via the dot-com bubble, burst, and the housing bubble, not to mention a global pandemic and surging inflation during their prime earning years. Yes, but a lot of those same folks also took huge risks. I've shared this before on the channel. I have friends of mine that went all in on the dot-com market, went all in on the housing market bubble, and a lot of them, including the developers and builders, got destroyed. So again, when greed takes over and you don't think prudently, you don't plan, it's happening again, guys, in mass. So many, it says, are also part of the sandwich generation, saddled with taking care of their kids and aging parents simultaneously as a result of lengthening lifespans. I get that. I have 2 elderly parents, both of whom I help with my mom every week. My dad actually is strong for his age, 86 years old. But look at things do happen, right? This is while these factors have contributed to the financial woes of Gen X, perhaps the biggest reason for their money trouble stems from the fact that they're likely to be the first modern generation to enter retirement without full Social Security support or defined pension plans. The SSA's Programs Trust Fund is expected to run dry by 2035, and it says these factors have created the perfect storm for a financial disaster. Sorry, guys, I just did about a half an hour on my treadmill, and of course I decided to record a video out here in my backyard. It's supposed to be about 115 degrees today, but it's extremely humid right now for this time of year, and I don't do well in this kind of temperature. I wanted to give you a different backdrop, but again, apologize here. I'm sweating a bit. Look, in terms of Social Security and defined pension plans, if you guys, any of you, going into your retirement years are planning on relying on those things, and that's your strategy, good luck to you. I talk to my parents about how much they get in Social Security, and it's pathetic. I mean, the increases are not keeping up with inflation or cost of living. I don't see anybody could believe that that's a retirement strategy. All right. It says these factors have created the perfect storm, as I said, for a financial disaster, leading experts to coin the term silver squatters in reference to the most likely to show up at their kids' doors with a pile of suitcases and empty bank accounts. Very, very sad. But I'll tell you something. If you are the kids and you have, if your parents are not, say, financially set. This is another reason why you need to be doing everything you can to have your situation set. Because what are you going to do if your parents do show up at your front door and need some assistance or need, some financial help? I mean, what are you going to do, right? I mean, I hope I'm never in that situation with my kids, and I struggle not to be in that situation. But some people haven't made smart decisions. Some people have had unforeseen catastrophes or health issues. And so you're not just planning for yourselves, folks, and you're planning for your own parents now as well if they need something from you. This includes if you lose your job and cannot continue to assist with all the family needs. Next story out of Yahoo Finance. Business Insider says America's freight recession is showing no signs of ending. We've discussed the freight issues on this channel before. The latest example of the industry struggles came on Monday when S&P Global Ratings cut to negative its outlook on Accuride, a commercial truck parts manufacturer. The agency cited weak sales and negative free operating cash flow as reasons the company is at risk at default next year. The agency specified that tractor and trailer production will see limited demand into 2025, noting that Accuride's low sales have fueled persistent challenges in the industry. Someone commented commented on one of my videos, I think from a couple days ago, that the truck drivers across this country, they're the ones that know what's going on. They've got their finger, I think I responded, on the pulse of this economy. And if the truck drivers are seeing massive slowdown and reporting issues, we better all pay attention to that, folks. The freight environment, it says, remains depressed, which will leave credit metrics weak over the next 2 years. The report said freight market conditions have remained much weaker than our previous expectations and underpin the reduction in our earnings and cash flow estimates for the company. J.B. Hunt, a leading trucking firm, was one of the first to warn of this freight recession going back in 2023. Its problems persisted into 2024 when the firm posted both a profit and sales miss in the first quarter. Its stock is now down 21.3% year to date. J.B. Hunt, I haven't checked the stock price recently, but that is a real problem for that company. While consumption averaged 2.7% in the first 2 quarters, it's now forecast to slow to a 2% annual growth rate. They said, in part, interest rates will drive the slowdown and will also bear on the trucking sector. Freight volumes will end the year weaker as freight tonnage growth trails U.S. GDP growth. According to the S&P Global Research forecast, the measure will expand by just 1.7% this year. Unbelievable what's happening in the freight industry, guys. And lastly, I'll share an article I saw from Zero Hedge today, and it's more of a rhetorical question. It says, have we already entered a recession? And worse, have we been in a recession for years now? I think many of you would answer that question and say yes, that we have been. And look at, maybe some of you might even say we're actually borderline in a depression. If the official numbers are wrong, it could mean that we're already in recession masked by rising asset prices courtesy of the Fed. We know the official numbers are wrong. We know that they're lying to us relative to the official numbers they bring out, from the jobs report to GDP, all those things that get revised lower and lower in the following months after its release. It says, to give a flavor, the official inflation rate since COVID has been around 21%. But the fast food menu prices, a go-to indicator of foreign exchange investors, are up between 35 and 50%. People posting grocery receipts online say it's actually more than 50%. The problem is if inflation was actually, say, 35%, it means GDP hasn't gone up at all since pre-COVID. It means it actually went down, implying we've been in a recession for nearly 5 years. And then, of course, I dropped the word depression in the title today because of this. Are we in a hidden depression? The idea seems absurd, but historically, inflationary depressions are hard to see for the simple reason that asset prices pump before consumer prices do. The affluent keep spending since their stocks soared and their house prices soared. And it says, does this sound familiar? Absolutely. Look at the stock market right now. Look at housing prices right now. In Germany's Weimar hyperinflation, for example, early on, people weren't complaining about prices. They were popping champagne over how much money they were making on their stocks. The hunger, it says, came later. Again, sound familiar? The 4-year depression theory explains a lot of otherwise mysterious data. And this article says that this person's colleague found that manufacturing orders have been flat for at least 3 years, while consumer spending has actually been negative for those 3 years. We get data points like Americans seeing McDonald's as a luxury item now, buying groceries on credit cards, selling off second cars, downsizing to smaller homes, all hallmarks of a recession. And also, obviously, we know about credit card debt rising. We know about the pay later plans rising. I think Miles is about to start barking here in the background. Sorry, guys. Even that granddaddy of statistics, GDP, may be an illusion because GDP counts government spending as production, which, of course, we know it's not. It's not. It's spending, not building. So our current $2 trillion deficit says on paper, it says on paper, automatically boosting GDP by nearly 7%. But the spending isn't making us richer, it's making us poorer as our physical resources get squandered. We know that. So it says when the official numbers are lies, right, we're left with data points and anecdotes like record credit card debt, financial distress among the middle class, and a shrinking quality of life. If in fact the real numbers, and this is what you need to ponder, if in fact the real numbers, not the publicized numbers, are much worse, perhaps even as bad as voters and consumer surveys report, then we could be headed toward a proper depression, if we're not already in a depression. So I hope you guys got something from those few articles today. Again, apologize, I'm still kind of out here sweating in this humid environment, cooling down, but I got my half-an-hour treadmill in before we're going to go have some breakfast here with my family. Have a great Sunday today. Please get your steps in, your workout in if you can. Stay focused, but enjoy time with family and friends. A lot's happening. Watch my video we released from Friday about these job losses at Big Lots and Mod Pizza. We also saw some comments. Walgreens is going down. I heard maybe lumber liquidators. I haven't researched that yet to fact check it. Are they going VK? There's a lot of stuff happening on the economic front as well as the political front, which we're all watching with bated breath. But have a great rest of your weekend. And I'm starting my trial tomorrow. We're actually picking a jury starting at 10 a.m. in the morning. So I got to suit up, put the monkey suit on to go do that for a few days. So it's going to be sporadic with videos this week. But I'll do my best to check in as time permits. Talk to you all soon. Again, thank you for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you. Bye.